Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is me Aisha Naveed. I'm 13 years old and I'm a level 1 student at Rehan School Online Academy. Also, I'm a student at Rehan AI Coding Academy. Today we have an amazing guest and her name is Dr. Daphne. And let's know about herself. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you, Aisha?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. How are you, doc? How can I call you?
Dr. Daphne.
Okay. So, how are you, Dr. Daphne?
I'm very well. Thank you.
So, can you just tell my viewers a little about yourself, that where from you belong, and
Sure, I would love that. Originally, I'm a Pakistani, born and raised in Pakistan, and living in Dubai with my awesome family, a mother of two amazing rock star kids. And I am the founder of Carousel Moms Business and Lifestyle Coaching. I'm an NLP master practitioner, a counselor, a business and lifestyle coach, 23 times international best-selling author, and much, much more. That's where I am.
wonderful. I'm surprised that you are a Pakistani and you've been grown up as a Pakistani, but you don't look like a Pakistani. Your profile picture or like I don't have a mindset that I'm doing an interview with a Pakistani lady. I thought you're from foreign countries or like that.
Why do Pakistanis have horns on their head or what?
No, this because yesterday I interviewed a lady just like you, but she is from USA, but currently she was living in Canada and all. Okay, so firstly, I'm gonna ask you about. Can you tell us about? Can you tell us that what inspired you to help moms?
I think moms deserve the best, right? Because people have that mindset that the home is the place for the mother and the kitchen and everything. But I think we are empowered for greatness. First of all, we are born with managerial skills because if you see a mom, she manages everything. She's the cleaner, she's the cook, she's the laundryman, the doctor, the name it, the driver also. So and even teaches the children, the tutor. So everything, the mom is an all rounder. That's from where my business name also comes, Carousel Moms. That's the invention of my awesome daughter, who said a mom's life is like a carousel. We are spinning to the rhythm of the music, but we have to create a balance in our life. We cannot tilt towards one side. A carousel is a merry-go-round. So nobody puts their child in an unbalanced carousel. If it's balanced, it stands straight and it spins around with all the children enjoying the joyride and the rhythm of the music. So that's where I am. And I feel that children spend more time with the mother than with the father. Fathers, yes, they want their children to study very well, do amazingly, but then they go out of the house to work. They go in the morning, they come in the evening, and the children are mostly with the mom. If the mom is not inspired and enjoying and loving life and living it to the fullest, what will motivate and inspire those kids to do something successful in life and know that life is beautiful, worth living, and there are so many opportunities in life? It's the mom. Mom is the powerhouse of the home. If, like my husband says, if the mom is sick, the whole home is sick.
That's true, and that's so inspiring. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Daphne. So, the next question is how did your journey into entrepreneurship begin?
A tough question, but an interesting question. Well, I've got 13 years of corporate sector experience, worked in Pakistan in all the multinational companies like the Ramada Hotels, Philips Electrical Company, AD Marker and Sons. Everybody knows Neurobion, Vintage Medicines with Merck Marker. Also worked with all these top pharmaceuticals. Then I got married. My husband had got a job in Dubai and we moved. The children were born here. And then I became 100% stay-at-home mom because obviously cultures and beliefs of your, where you are raised and also your mindset of your faith, everything is intertwined. that affects your life. And obviously I was also that, it was better that the children were raised by me, so I was at home raising the kids personally. When as the kids grew up, I decided to start, why not work? And I found that it was a challenge because when you have a gap in things, everything keeps on changing, especially now that it's the technology world. What we did say 30 years ago, those same apps are not even known. Like people of your generation would not even know that app ever existed, and you'll say, sorry, what was that? I never heard that name. So things, it was also a thing of that gap that came between mine. When suddenly I came up into the thing of, I stumbled actually on a counseling course, and I really loved that because it was time friendly and I could, learn a lot of things, and it changed my mindset. I was a stereotypical type of mom, as you all, like if I said black was white, you had to stick with that same thing, and I would not change. And no one could question us. In our times, we were raised that way, that when an elder said something, you would not question it or say that they were wrong about anything. You just be quiet. And NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, which I'll be repeatedly using this word, it has to do with your brain, your mindset, what you've gone through, what you are currently going through, and every past defines the present of where you are. And that's when I found that, NLP really opened my mind. It was mind blowing, and the counseling really, I was able, first of all, to understand myself, why I do what I do, and then to help understand my children and my family and others. And I really loved it. It was amazing eye opener, and because of this I decided to try to make it a profession. Now I did start as into counseling, and then I moved into NLP, and then came into coaching, but I merged all three together. I've not left anything behind, because at the same time, for anything you do, you need your brain. Your brain is wrongly wired, you will mess up a lot of things. So I found that with counseling and with NLP, you can deal with past baggage, any problems you've gone through, any trauma. So I dealt with my old baggage, got new baggage, fresh, where redefined every moment and every experience to my success. Because the difference with then counseling and coaching is, counseling, normally we go into your past history, all right, about your family and blah blah blah, which sometimes, you have your own identity, Aisha, as a person. I cannot say just because your mom did this, you will be the same. For example, let me make something very simple for you. Maybe sometimes your mom mentions about your great grandmother, the way she cooked things and she did it. And your mom might say, your great grandmother never, what you could, they used to cook so many times and they never made a fuss about things and blah, blah, blah. Now, when your great grandmother was alive, may her soul rest in peace, remember there were no fridges those days. So what could they do? They had to make fresh food so it didn't get spoiled. Now you live in an era where there's fridge, there's a refrigerator, there is a microwave. They did not know microwaves in those days. They did not know about fridges. So you tell me the only ice they knew was snow to make things cold. So you see the common sense we need to sometimes use, that obviously times have changed. You're living in a different generation. Like earlier days, if you ask your mom, she'd say her own grandmother also ground masala, did it on a stone, the grinding. We now sit down and we put it into a blender, press the button, and zzz, and it's done in a second. The masalas are made, and we cook the food. It's so easy. So you see, with you have to change with the times. And I found this transition with the I could transition. It changed my mindset. I could understand everybody, why they get angry, why they're upset, why is what, and why people are happy. It was just mind blowing. And then coaching, what it comes to is that coaching takes you to where you want to go. You decide your own, uh, what do you call it, your destination. And you say, I want to go there and be there, just like right now, whatever you are studying, you say, okay, I want to become this in life, forgetting what your great grandparents, your grandparents, your family history is. Maybe they might say, like, One other example to give you is that if you spoke to in the times of your great grandparents, they never thought of going to the moon. They never knew it was possible. But how many have not been to the moon, you tell me? Now look at the time difference. So you have to shift with that. So if you, because of the coaching thing, people who wanted to go to the moon found a way and they went to the moon.
Yeah,
So
a lot of.
that's why for me to merge both these things, so people come as clients to me with a lot of baggage and find that they cannot get out of things, then I need to use NLP and counseling to unwire their brains and rewire the correct connections so that they can be successful in life.
Wonderful, wonderful. You are a great lady. You have amazing mindset. Thank you so much. So the
Thank
next
you.
question is about mindset and motivation. Why is mindset so important in business?
Because if you're not in the right mindset, you might mess up your business completely. It's not
It's
only
in
in
everything.
business, it's in anything. Exactly. Your mind is your main machinery. Because now you tell me if you're right now, like you're doing an interview with me, right? You know what the audience expectation is. They want you to come smiling, talk nicely to me. I'm sharing my experience, blah, blah. Now, if you come crying because your mom shouted at you, or your dad shouted at you, or your friend had a disagreement, do they want to listen to that? Do they want to see you crying on the call saying, "Oh my God, my friend had a fight with me"? No, they don't care. So you see, this with again this NLP, what happens? Like many times, I come from different situations. Now, if somebody's coming with they've lost a loved one and they come on my call, I cannot be laughing or smiling or being in a happy mood. I have to be a little bit on a lower note because obviously they are in sorrow, right? And then I come to a call with you. You are expecting me to come with full energy. So at least I can go and, recollect myself and come to you. Do you mean that doctors don't have problems? I remember I read a story on Facebook where actually a surgeon, he came slightly late and the parent was very angry with the doctor. But what had happened actually? The doctor came leaving the funeral of his own son to attend to his patient. He just only wanted to put his son down because it was a funeral, being the father. But think of what must have gone through that doctor to have not even been able to cry there. And what happened is that the surgery that he did was the birth of a child. So you see, the family, when the baby was born, he had to share the good news. They were rejoicing that the child was saved, the operation was successful. But what was in his heart? He was broken and torn because he had just buried his son. He was waiting for the surgery, and he'd go back and then cry his heart out. See the difference.
Sometimes
In professionalism, exactly.
there,
Go ahead,
she
please.
was happy and she was happy for the child. No, the family was happy for the child, but the doctor wasn't happy because his child is not well.
He was happy for his patient, but he was not happy internally. You understand? So the mindset helps us how to cope up with different traumas or different situations that we're going. And for professionalism, as I said before, people who are coming on this call want to hear us. They don't want to see us crying or bickering or anything. They don't have time for your nonsense or my nonsense, very clearly. So you have to be very, very professional, and it helps you to really how to set yourself, because you can't always have your mentors and your teachers with you. Once you're seasoned professional, you should know how to get your own crap together.
Yeah, wonderful. You have amazing examples. So let's talk about your family. What about your family, your parents, and your? Do you have any siblings? And tell me about your childhood and all.
Okay, so you want me to go into a fairy tale mode? Okay, sure, I will. All right. Yeah, I've lost my parents 10 years back, which was also a very traumatic. I know that everyone does lose parents, but mine is more like yeah, you would say like a thing, because I lost both of them, first mom and then dad, within just a few hours, basically the same day they both passed away. But again, trauma
But
is trauma for
how?
anyone, whether you lose one or both parents. Well, for me, as faith would have it, I would say if Allah wants them back, He took them back to Himself. There's nothing to question Allah why and what. It's just to say that He said time is up and time was up. Because if He did not want it, I think even if a car should go over us and Allah does not want us to be going up, He will it will not happen. There are so many people who say they met with an accident and they were saved by the grace of Allah, because your time had not come, right? So, well, their time had come, and I took it as a positive sign, because for me, just 2 months earlier, we had flown to Pakistan and we celebrated their 50 years of marriage together. So 50 years, my brother came down. He was in Canada and came down, and we had a great party, good photographs, good family, friends, everybody. So I thank God for that opportunity. Many times people don't have good photographs, good videos, or memories. And since we are both living in different countries, we siblings, it was nice that we could come under one roof, live together. I think these are all the blessings of God. So we are grateful to God for this situation. And besides this, I would say the power of death had no power over my parents, because not only 50 years in life together, they also went into eternity together. They were buried together. So I take it as a positive thing. And this thing also helped me to cope with grievance. So much so that last year I wrote a book to my parents, Messages from Beyond. It's related to no faith. It's just general for anybody of any faith, nationality to read it. It's also on Amazon bestseller. You could grab that book and read how to celebrate your loved one's life and keep their legacy alive. And I could only do this because I had, dealt with myself, then I could help my brother and further things. As a child, I was a very quiet person. What you are seeing me, I'm not even 50% of the person I was. As you know, mostly we were, in our times, maybe your mom would tell you, we were raised in a way that girls should be seen and never heard. All right. So it was always quiet, never speaking much or anything. But when I made this transition, as I already mentioned, I had 13 years of corporate sector experience in the international world. So I worked in different pharmaceuticals and everything. So with that mindset and everything, I decided, after becoming a stay home mom, to start a business, because there was a long gap between my work. Besides this, is that my mindset was that I didn't want to neglect the kids and the family. I wanted to stay in touch. I know in Dubai people have maids and nannies, but well, a child raised by the mother is much more. That's our thought process. Whereas nowadays, I think even like my kids, sometimes that was a little
No,
bit silly,
it's not.
because it did exhaust me a
That's
lot.
great.
But exactly, but yeah, so I was able to give my children 100% my time. So when I came up with this business idea, it did look silly, and I know my partner said, how much it's do you know how much money it costs to start a business? you know it's you need a lot of money, a lot of investment, blah blah blah. But because of my focus, I started getting my focus very clear, and my vision, and that kept me going. And thanks to my awesome daughter, and yes, my son also fell in, where I've had the maximum support and encouragement, the moment you can do it and go for it and blah blah blah. And it was amazing, even with the loss of my parents. Amazing. I would really say the credit goes to especially my daughter, and then my son, and then my husband, and yes, the others come in. Everybody
Yeah.
chips in equally. But it has really helped me to be where I am. I'm not the same person. If you go and even check my maybe photographs, my
I
videos, and
watched.
everything,
I
I'm
watched
not the
this.
person
You.
I
I
was.
watched that video, photography video. You were looking gorgeous. You print that. I think. You were.
Thank you. Yeah, the one with the flying dress, I think the one right on top that I pinned. Yes, exactly. That's for my business. So I've done a lot of changes within myself, Because for me, one thing is very clear, is as long as you do the right thing, we are big enough to know what is right and wrong, good and bad. Once you do that, just do it anyway, and don't think too much. And this is one point for your audience, even, that in coaching, many times right now, if I say, Aisha, would you like to maybe go to America, you will say, okay, ma'am, 1 minute, let me see, will I get holidays, will my parents give the money for the ticket? The problem is
Mama, I
you
cannot
think
hear
too
you.
much. You can't
Yeah,
really.
now I can
Hello.
hear you.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now am I good? Okay, so I gave the example of, like, if I ask you right now, Aisha, why don't you become a doctor, or why don't you go to America? You would take a pause and say, ma'am, I need to
Yeah.
think about it. That's the common thing, that everybody wants to think about it, right? So what happens in the thinking process, as a, not only a certified professional in counseling, NLP, and coaching, even as an experienced one, I would say, stop
Stop
thinking too much.
overthinking.
Stop thinking actually too much in the beginning. First, say yes in the moment, grab the opportunity, and later on figure
How
out
can we?
how. Because once you say yes, you are stuck on how to do the thing. And then our brain is very, talented, well equipped. And if we really brainstorm, ideas you never could have imagined
Mhm.
pop up, and we are very, very successful. So just say yes in the moment. Later on, you will
Later
find
on,
the
you can
way
think
how.
on that,
And this is what
because in that moment,
exactly.
we are stuck on that. We have to do or not, and if we'll get late, the person who is giving the opportunity will leave. That you're just thinking, and you can think for 24 hours.
Yes, they will. And that's the thing, even with Allah, He gives His blessings to everyone. But if you don't take it when He's giving it to you, obviously it will go to someone else. Why are you just missing on that opportunity? Do
Yeah.
you understand my point? And we can do it. And like I said, our brain sometimes comes up with such ideas you wouldn't have imagined of doing it. And that's where I am in my business, by saying yes in the moment, later on figuring out, oh my god, how would I do it? I remember when I used to be trained, I was, like I said, I was a very shy, quiet girl. We were used to do, because I have studied from different places, from America,
Mhm.
Canada, India, Australia, and also Pakistan. So everywhere I'm a summary of everything. I'm a mixed plate, honestly. So what I found, sometimes I used to study through the night. As you know, international timings are very different. So suddenly we were told, right now, go live and do this. And I was, oh my God, like, no, no, no. And just because your person is waiting there on the next side of the call to see you live, you just do it in that crazy moment. And I'm telling you, breaking through that, all these different challenges, I am where I am today. And y- I just keep on breaking, barriers and walls and everything. It's the only person in our way. Like, see, you are younger than me, you might say, okay, I have to ask my parents permission and everything. Very true, you do have to ask. You have to ask your teacher's permission. But remember one thing, to all our audience, whatever age you are, that the only thing stopping you is you. You need to get out of your
This is what
own
our
way,
mentor also
because no
says,
one.
Sir Rehan Lawal.
Uh-huh. Okay, go ahead, please share
Yeah,
with me
I
something.
was saying that this is the thing that only. What did he say? The only one stopping.
Get out of your own way. Yes, the only one
Yeah,
stopping you is
that's what
yourself.
Our mentor Sir Rehan Lawal also says.
Exactly. Because see, those are other excuses. People will say, oh, my husband, my wife, my children, my father, my mother. No, 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 no. No one, it's you. You yourself first make up your mind that, yes, I can do it and I will do it. Then the others come in. No one can help you, because, when you fly in a
Yeah,
plane, also, right? The air hostess first says, in the time of turbulence, you first put the mask on yourself before you
yeah,
attend to the minor. The first thing you would do, if you saw a little baby next to you, you try to save that little helpless baby. But if you don't have life in you, how could you save that little one? So you first put the oxygen mask on yourself, save yourself, and then save others. So the same, ideology, if you apply it in anything of life, first say yes to yourself that you want to study, you want to learn, you want to improve, you want to be successful. Then the permission from others comes. The also problem I have noticed that people have grown up in a culture of validation from others, because in families also, I know I was all raised by, from, even if it was not the family, you see, you go in your community, you go in your school, you're always told, what will others say, what will your friends say, what will your neighbors say, what will your teachers say about this? So you see, with this bothering about what others say, we have forgotten as individuals to think of what we ourselves are saying about ourselves.
Hmm, wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Dr. Daphne, can you tell me about your childrens, that what they are doing currently, and about them?
Sure, they are awesome young adults, and my daughter is a international makeup artist and a fashion designer. My son is into business, and he loves his reading, research, and technology, so he's into that. So yeah, but still responsibilities don't end. Y'all can grow as big as y'all grow, but still, mom is mom and family is
Yeah,
family, right?
your
So we
voice
enjoy
dropped.
a good bondage and connection.
I cannot hear you. Your voice dropped again. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
now
clear
can
now.
you? Yeah. So I said, as much as y'all might grow, mom is mom and still family
Yeah.
is family, so we still have that very good bonding and understanding. So yeah, we're doing amazing.
Okay, so now I want to know about your name. Who gave you the name of yourself, and what does that mean?
Okay. I love that because it's something totally
Yes.
new from all my other interviews and podcasts. Really, you think out of the box, and I love that. Firstly, the doctor I'll come that I've got a lot of honorary doctorates and done my studies in business administration. And I'm not a medical
Okay.
doctor, by the way. So that's where the doctor comes. Daphne was given by my mom. That's a name of one of her best friends, because I did have a sister, and then she passed away before my birth when she was small. So my mom got this friend from the name from her friend Daphne, and it's not from the author, although everybody thinks it's from the author known as Daphne de Maria. She's a very famous author, but my name Daphne was from a friend, and Daphne means a laurel tree. Okay, so during the wars and all, people use the leaves of a laurel tree to camouflage themselves so the enemy cannot see them from up. They were those kind of leaves and all. So that's what a laurel tree is. Also, a laurel tree has the thing, if you see in the shield, with that little bit arch and leaves, that's also a laurel, right? Which means crowned with laurels. And what a coincidence. I just, my husband, who was earlier my boyfriend, if it's a love marriage and stuff like that, his name is Lawrence. We did not know when we got married, okay? We just came to know a few years ago that his name means crowned with laurels. So Lawrence is crowned with laurels, and Daphne means laurel tree and a crown of laurels. So you see how when people use those words that marriages are made in heaven, how true it is that we did not plan it. It was just a coincidence, and we came to know when we were going to celebrate our 21st wedding anniversary. I just, for the heck of it, I was trying to find a way to write a very interesting post when I found this research, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to tell everybody that our names are clicking so well and so much. So that's where Daphne comes. Suarez, originally, actually, I'm a Pinto, Daphne Pinto, because in our community, I'm a Christian Goan, and we use family names. It's not I would not be called Daphne Lawrence because my husband's name is Lawrence. I'll be called Daphne by the family name, whatever the family name is called. So I am from a Pinto family, so I was known as Pinto. I got married into a Suarez. So in my times, actually, we gave up our father's family name. The girl gives up, not the son, but the daughter gives up the name and takes the husband's family name. Nowadays, things have changed. Like I could put my name as Dr. Daphne Pinto Dash Suarez. So you know, if you go to my Facebook, you'll see in bracket I have put the name Pinto, for the reason that if you knew me from school or from anywhere, you can find me, because I found people, I lost my identity. You know, when you haven't gone through that phase of love and marriage, I think. But when you fall in love, you don't see things. And when I fell in love, I was like, okay, I'm getting married. I'm going to be Mrs. Suarez. So that, but when it came to the passport, removing my father's name, I was like, what? Oh my God, no, I don't want this to happen. But in those days, we couldn't keep our father's name. So that is why I gave up the Pinto. Then I suddenly decided on Facebook, and I did connect with a lot of school friends, because then they were like, oh my God, were you the Daphne Pinto we knew earlier? Okay, let's be friends. So it was interesting that Daphne did not die. She was still alive with her name, but she just got married. So it helped a lot. So I've still not changed it to the modern trend of putting the Pinto Suarez. I just put a Pinto in a bracket. Maybe I might consider it later on, but right now I put my name everywhere as this way. So I'm very happy. I made my identity. I'm also an author, a best-selling author with 23 best-selling books, award-winning author, received a lot of awards. Recently, I have received the Global Impact Award from Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York. So I went to London and met her. If you see my Facebook cover page,
Yeah.
you'll see myself with Sarah Ferguson. So yeah, God has been good with me, and working internationally with all countries, setting women on fire, because I just think women need that support. Men still get that support, and it's always about the men. I want to tell the woman that even with being in the house, looking after the kids and your responsibilities, you can live your dream. As my kids say, yesterday my daughter was saying, she said, yeah, look at mom's picture 10, 15 years back, and mom is looking younger than what she looked 15 years ago. And it's very true. I'm literally living the best life ever. I celebrate my life, and because I celebrate my life, I think everybody celebrates
Okay,
with me.
wonderful. You're such a great lady. Now I know how your name is. Like I was shocked at how your name is. Like I was confused. Now I know. I now I know that in the old time we cannot put the name of our father, because Naveed is my father's name, and because I'm known as Aisha Naveed everywhere. So that's why. That's what.
So you can imagine that if you have to, when you get married and you suddenly remove Naveed, it's like as if, you died literally. You don't have an identity, but, stay focused. Like for me, literally now, it's enough to tell anybody about Daphne Suarez and everybody knows who they are talking about. So we actually have to think positive and move forward towards success and create our own identity and create a
Yeah.
legacy, because when we come with nothing into this world and we go with nothing, but we leave good memories and impressions on the earth where people can hold on to and learn something from us.
Oh, wonderful, amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Dr. Daphne. I didn't know that you're just like, I just saw your profile picture and I was confused at what I will ask you, and now I know I have to ask you anything. You're such great. So let's talk about art and crafts. Um, I love art and craft, and I just want to be an artist, and I want to be thousands of. I want a lot of. What can we say? Uh, I want to do a lot of things. You can say. So I saw your profile,
Mhm.
and there are a lot of videos you've shared about art and crafts. What's the story behind that?
Because the story behind it is that I love
Hmm.
creativity. I think a lot. So Like I said, our brain, sometimes you don't expect something, we come out from, out of the blues with some creation. So it's just that people need to celebrate life. It's not all about work. We will always use the term that I have no
Mhm.
time. No one has time there. I know we would sometimes wish that the days were more than 24 hours, but well, we cannot change that. It's always going to be 24 hours. But how we balance our life, and also when you are mentally refreshed, whether it's through sleep, arts and crafts is
Yeah,
very relaxing. And also, the sensory of the touch, the feeling of paper, of sand, of clay, or anything is very therapeutic. So, what happens, what you would normally take maybe 2 hours to do, when your brain is fresh, refreshed, and relaxed, you might finish the thing in a click of a
yeah,
second. It will hardly take you a little while. And I think that, yes, as much as people are moving towards AI and chat gpt, which is awesome, it is good, but let's not get our brains rusty. Let's use it to help us. Maybe like you said, you like arts and crafts, maybe ask it to guide you a little bit how to do the thing, but do it yourself. Because at the same time, if you ask chat gpt or AI, they say mix the paint, mix it for you. Hear me?
yeah. Sorry, your voice dropped. I don't know.
Yeah, it was showing the mic, and then that's why I asked you if you can hear me. Yeah, so you see, the thing is that all these technologies and these apps, they might will tell you how to use it. Just like how when I shared about fold the paper this way, that way to make something beautiful, it's technology is not
Yeah.
going to do that for you. You have to understand how to do it, and you have to put it into action. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. As much as AI and ChatGPT is amazing, please do not waste your brain. Yes, our brain memory has a lesser capacity than the computer memory. It has a faster RAM and everything, but we have to very, very wisely use it. That because God, there's no comparison to the creation of
Mm.
God. He's created our brains in such a beautiful way, but I'm seeing youngsters literally wasting it away. Because now, like a simple example was, I was just sharing with the family, somebody created a flyer for me. When I saw my picture, I was, huh? Excuse me, that's no way my picture. Even my logo, the name was not showing in the logo. It was changed into everything. What they did, they fed my picture into chat gpt and asked them to make the flyer. Like, that was ridiculous. You spoiled my I said, I'm very happy with my face. I don't need chat gpt to edit my face and my logo and spoil everything. But this is simple things. Why not use a pen? And I know, like right now, if you want to write something, you would tell chat gbt to write it on a paper, and will write the thing in, you say, cursive writing or whatever. But when you take your pen and your paper and write it, there's no comparison to Aisha doing something and the technology doing something. So we need to really not let our brains rust. Otherwise, sadly, what the future of the world is going to be if we don't let our brains cooperate and implement things.
Okay, that's a detailed and great answer. I've made a painting. Can I show it?
Oh, of course,
Just
please go
wait a
ahead.
minute. So here it is.
Wow, that's amazing. Would you like to tell me what exactly is
Yeah,
it?
it's a sunset, and I've made it with the help of paints.
Did you copy the image or is it like free
No,
thinking
I painted that.
with your
Yeah,
own mind?
I didn't saw any picture
Okay, why did you want
because
to
I
do
love
this?
sunsets. I love photography too.
Okay, what does it tell you?
Sorry.
What does it mean to you?
I cannot describe. Like I just love that image, and I also love photography. And whenever I go to beach and it's sunsetting, I just clicked a lot of pictures of that.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, why not give a meaning to your picture? Why did you write something to explain that picture more in detail? Because it speaks a lot of your personality.
Yeah. So how can I give a meaning to that?
Go deep, sit down alone with that picture, just look, keep staring at it, and let this picture speak to you.
Um,
Let's give you an example. Okay, right now on your screen, can you see that moving video
yeah,
around
I
us?
can
Okay,
like that.
sit back. Yeah, and okay, just look at it. What does it, what do you, are you getting a message from this video?
Um, I'm not getting. Okay, you're saying that what message I'm getting with that video?
Yes.
I think the message is that these leaves are so beautiful.
Okay. Are you feeling refreshed
Yeah,
looking at it? You are. So the same with your painting, there's a deep meaning. If you try to unlock it, Aisha, it would really help you to really unlock that. And it's something that you have done. You could even make it as your backdrop for your interviews rather than just having a white screen. Why do we have a white screen behind
because
you?
it's my home wall.
So you know you can have a virtual wall. So why not use your painting as your
Like
virtual
this?
wall? You need to in down
Okay,
first take out a
okay. Use
picture,
a background.
download it, upload it, and yes, yes, why not?
Okay, I know that what you're saying.
So these are some things, but first get a meaning. If you don't get a meaning that inspires you, now if that's positive, it's worth doing it, because if it's not positive, then it could distract you during your interviews. But these are little things that you could
Hmm.
do.
Yeah.
So try it out. Why don't you can do a lot of things. You're very talented, I must say. So do you go to some art school or
No,
anything?
I just watch YouTube videos, five Minecraft videos, and I just look at them and
Lovely, lovely. That's really
like
interesting.
this.
Yes, but this is not your work.
So how can I just like how can I?
First take a picture, download it on your take a picture on your
Okay.
device. If you're working from your mobile, then open this app. In the settings, go and upload the picture, and then set it as your background.
Okay. So you mean that I can have my picture as my background like this.
Why
Okay.
not? Why not? It's just an idea. Like, I'm thinking out of the box. I think wild. I'll come with all the
Yeah.
craziest ideas. You can do anything. I just want you to use it if it's inspiring you. But first, understand, why do you like this picture? I like the sunset. Oh my God. I love nature pictures. Take me for a trip to nature where I can see all nature and everything. Oh
Flowers,
my God. That is
mountains,
enough.
sky. No.
Exactly. That's the best gift ever you can give me. I'm in love with nature. I go, like what they say, crazy literally. That's what happens to me. I love nature. And then I can really breathe in the nature and feel it. It's just so refreshing. So that's where I'm inspiring you, that you have art as your thing. So why don't you just use it wisely?
Yeah. Now I understand understood what you were saying.
See, you have to be your own motivator. That's what I want you and my audience to understand. Don't wait for people to motivate you, because you might never get somebody to motivate you. Because mostly I find people like to demotivate somebody else, because they feel if I motivate you, you will do better than me. So they don't want that. But for me is that if you do better, I live in a different world. The world is too big. You have your place, I have my place in the world. We will never trample over each other's foot. So you see, it's when you believe in your own capabilities and talents, you will not be bothered if somebody is more successful than you or not. You will share all your talents, and I can see
Yeah.
that you come with a abundance mindset. So go sharing. Maybe you can inspire some youngster, make somebody's day with your thoughts in your mind.
Okay. So, as a life coach, what picture does indicates by my personality? What does this picture indicates by my personality as a life coach? I don't. I want to know.
A very creative person, a very insightful person. So you've got a lot of creativity, a lot of insight, and a person who looks beyond the horizon.
Mm,
You don't have a limit to where things are stopping. You have, if you look at the transition of the colors from the dark, it becomes lighter and lighter, meaning you're more and more deep going beyond the horizon. And you want to be free, and you love to,
yeah.
you know, just fly around like a pretty bird, doing the best. So you can soar, because my name, if you see my slogan on my social media, I put it's Suarez. So Soares. So I've written soar with Suarez. So soar to your success. So you can also start soaring like those birds in your life to your success, starting with my interview. How
It
does that
sounds
sound?
great. Thank you so much for the ideas. I'm full of knowledge now. Thank you so
Lovely.
much. Now I just wanted to know that okay, the what one message would you like to give to the world as what are you as what you are.
Never give up on yourself, no matter what. Do not wait for validation from others. First, validate and accept yourself before you want others to accept you. So, everything actually starts from within before it goes beyond. So, from within, if you accept yourself, you validate yourself, then you bring that out, you manifest it to the world. And that's where your success and your growth lies. I also have a very good thing that I've just shared it earlier also on another interview, is that I'm going to this month run a workshop for youngsters, girls and boys, where I'll help them with more
Hmm.
confidence, then online ethics, especially when they are live on the calls or anything, or interviews, or even in a Zoom training. What are the ethics? What is the confidence? How can you speak? How to behave? Because Aisha, I'm really edified, and I must appreciate you. You are amazing the way you have done the interview. You spoke with confidence,
Thank you so much.
and you also, questions were amazing, very matured, very wise girl, and I'm really highly, impressed. And I would like others, girls and boys, to also, they have the capability, but they need that boost, somebody to show them what to do and how to do it. So that's why I said, since most normal schools are closed now for the vacations, children are at home. So I said in July, I'll start the special training for youngsters of building confidence for themselves, and also to what you really need, the not only the confidence to speak, but how to behave, what to do. There's a lot that is, and your thought process, as you earlier put your question about mindset, help them with their mindset. Because if I help them with their mindset, and again what I said, the points were accepting, validating yourself, appreciating yourself, vowing yourself, all these things come from within before you take it beyond.
Wonderful. The message that never give up. have a lot deep meanings. I hope everyone understands. Thank you so much, Dr. Daphne, for your precious time. I loved interviewing you. You taught me a lot, and I got a lot of knowledge today,
Thank
like
you.
I did yesterday and a day before yesterday. That was a lot. That was so good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks once
You're
again
very
for the
welcome.
precious time. Now we're going to end the interview. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for the audience for watching us. We'll meet you with the next guest with